Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Happy Halloween, or whenever you're watching this. I'm gonna drop this on Halloween, so happy Halloween, y'all. I hope y'all like the makeup I've done today, okay? I was kind of going for like a disco queen type of vibe. You see the earrings, you see the rhinestones and everything, okay? So I think I did a good job, but let me know what y'all think of it in the comments below, okay? Did y'all dress up? Are y'all dressing up? Are y'all taking y'all kids trick-or-treating? Do y'all even like Halloween? I don't know, okay? But for this American Horror Story video, I thought it was fitting, because it's a horror story. Okay, Halloween. Alright, so to dress up for this video. So, yeah, we'll get right into it. This is American Horror Story 1984, episode 7, The Lady in White. Okay, so the scene opens up. We are in 1948, okay? We are at Camp Golden Star. And so we see this woman and she's talking to some kids. She goes into another room and we see her talking to two boys. And we realize that both of those boys are her sons. One is like a little more nerdy. The other is a little more like, trying to make jokes and stuff and be like positive and upbeat. And it's obvious that she likes one son and she can't stand the other son, okay? So, she like berates the other son that she doesn't like, and she's like, why can't you be like your other brother? And basically, I don't mess with you like that, okay? And so, she wants the boys to like play outside or whatever, and she is a chef at the camp. We realize, like a cook, and so the boys go playing outside, and the older boy who she doesn't like, he like tries to like talk to some girls. The girls are like, as if, okay. And I was like, okay. And so he is, he kind of feels a way that they curved him. And so he sees that the lifeguard at the lake, the lifeguard at the lake is talking to this girl, and they're going behind the bushes or whatever. And so he's supposed to like watch his little brother Bobby. His mama told him, make sure you watch Bobby, okay? Make sure you watch Bobby. And so, yeah, he's like, Mama, I'm going to watch Bobby, whatever. And he tells Bobby not to swim in the lake, okay? But what happens is that he goes to watch the lifeguard and this girl go behind the bushes and do what it do, okay? So he's watching that. Meanwhile, Bobby is by himself, okay? He's at the lake. He's on the dock at the lake. And he's taking his little shoes off and stuff like that. And I was like, no, Bobby, don't do it, Bobby. No, don't go, Bobby. Your mama told you not to do this, okay? And so Bobby jumps in the water, okay? We see the older brother, he was like watching the lifeguard and the girl like kiss and stuff like that, and he hears like, he's like, where's Bobby? Okay, so he goes back to the lake and he realizes that Bobby is in the water, and so we think Bobby has drowned, okay? Then all of a sudden Bobby kind of pops up out the water and he knows how to swim, so we're like, thank goodness, okay? But American Horror Story wanted to just be all types of evil, okay? So what happened was there was a boat, and it was kind of cheesy. There was a boat at the dock, and for some reason, this man didn't do any type of safety precautions, or didn't make sure that there was nobody in this lake right by the dock to make sure there was nobody swimming. And it just so happened that Bobby got eaten up by the blades on the motor of the boat, and it was just blood in the water and stuff like that, and the boater is like, oops. He didn't even look that distressed, like he did that he just killed this boy, okay? And so the older brother is like, oh my gosh, I was supposed to watch Bobby, like, of course, traumatized at this point. And so we see the mom come out, and the mom is like, oh my gosh, like, where's Bobby? Like, how could this happen to Bobby? And she's shouting at the older boy, like, hey, like, you were supposed to watch Bobby. Like, what was going on? And she's like, she goes after the lifeguard, and she's like, where were you? Like, my son died, you were supposed to be there. Like, what was going on? She shouts at everybody, but she especially shouts at her older son. And she says, I blame everybody. And, I'm blaming you too, boo, okay? So we see that, and I was like, immediately I know it's like, this is Jingles, okay? This is Jingles. They're showing us he's had a hard life, okay? So next we get to the present time, and we see Nurse Rita with Brooke. They're at like a hotel or whatever. And remember, Nurse Rita was in the room with Brooke whenever they were about to do lethal injection. And she helped Brooke to survive, okay? She was the one who was messing with all them drugs, okay? So she and Brooke are in a hotel room, and she's like, girl, it's going to take a couple of days for these drugs to like wear out your system, and it's going to be kind of rough, okay? So then we see, like, they show a montage of like Brooke like throwing up, and Nurse Rita having to tie Brooke up to the bed because, you know, she's having some type of withdrawals or, you know, coming down off of the drug. And so it's pretty bad. And Brooke doesn't trust Nurse Rita because Brooke saw Nurse Rita wilding and trying to kill her at the camp. So she's like, girl, why are you trying to help me? Like, why didn't you just kill me? And Nurse Rita's like, well, you know, like, I'm trying to do good now. Like, I realized my daddy was bad, and Night Stalker says I'm evil, but I don't want to be evil, and I want to be good, okay? That's basically what she says. And so Brooke is upset. She's like, you should have just let me go. Like, I've wasted so much time in jail. Like, I don't, you know, I wasted all the 80s in jail. And Brooke sees like a newspaper, and she sees that Camp Redwood Festival is about to go down. So she's like, oh no, I'm going over there. Like, I got to kill Margaret, okay? And Nurse Rita's like, well, maybe you shouldn't, okay? And Brooke's like, well, I should, because like what she did to me was wrong, okay? And I was like, well, I mean, I agree, okay? So Nurse Rita's like, you know what, since you think like, you know, that Margaret took all this stuff from you and like all the 80s you missed, and you know, she was saying that the 80s were like the morning in America. I was like, that's cute. So she's like, let's just go to the skating rink, okay? Because it's still 80s there. There's still some skating rinks that are open. Some of them are closing, but there's still some that are open, girl. So let's go and just skate, okay? And so I was like, y'all go skate with y'all problems, okay? So they go to the skating rink, and Brooke is in there like, wee, wee. You know, it's like ATL in there or whatever. And so they're having a good time together. And you know, something bad is about to happen when they're having too much fun, okay? So they see this man who looks sketch, okay? And he is trying to get a ride from them. He's like, look, I heard y'all was, you know, going to such and such, and I need a ride, okay? And they're like, you know what? No, we've had too much bad luck over these past couple of years. So, nah, okay? He's like, okay. And so they go outside, and they're having problems with their car. And so he's like, oh, y'all having problems with your car? I'm the man for the job. And I said, you know what? This ain't right, y'all. And so he helps them fix their car. And he's like, this, you know, I don't want nothing. I just believe in karma, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just walk away slowly and wait for you to say wait so y'all can give me a ride, okay? And that's exactly what happened. Nurse Rita's like, wait. You know, jump in, we'll give you a ride, okay? And so Brooke was like, you know, Brooke just got out of jail, so she's like, she ain't trying to trust everybody like that, okay? So, they in the car, and your boy is in the back seat, doing coke, okay? I said, all right, well, that's, you know, he's messing up right there. That's the first mess up. And then all of a sudden, he leans in the front seat, and he's like, look, you know what they be doing on these roads? People be, you know, coming in your lane, act like they're about to hit you, and then you flash your lights at them to like get in the other lane, and they make a U-turn, and they follow you and kill you. And Brooke's like, you know what? This ain't it. Nurse Rita, like, slow down. Let this man out because he's doing the most. Like, I've been in jail. I've been around people like you, try to scare people. I don't have time for it. Okay, so Nurse Rita, slow down. Let this man out, okay? Nurse Rita's like, okay, girl. So she slows down to let him out, and he's like, you know what, it's too hot outside, and I'm not getting out. Y'all want me to catch a heat stroke? It's not gonna happen. So I need to, you know, I'm not leaving. And so Brooke has a knife in her bag, and she's like taking it out like, you about to get out of this car, stop playing with us, okay? I said, come on, Brooke, them prison done made Brooke hard, okay? She ain't putting up with no foolishness. The shy and like innocent Brooke that we knew before is gone, okay? She is out for blood at this point. I said, okay, Brooke. And so all of a sudden this a police officer like comes right behind him and stops to like check up on him. And so Nurse Rita's like, oh my gosh, they're Nurse Rita and Brooke are worried because they had just broke out the prison. So I mean, Brooke, I guess they still think that Brooke is dead though. So maybe they're not looking for him, but they were still like worried, like, girl, we're not supposed to be anywhere around here, whatever. And so the man in the back gets worried too, and we're like, girl, what is going on? Okay, what is wrong? What's going on with him? And so the police pull him over and they're like, girl, are y'all okay? Because like this is a bad area to be stopped in. Do y'all all know each other? And Brooke was like trying to be quiet. Nurse Rita's like, girl, we don't know him back there. We just picked him up. And the police officer was like, you know what? Y'all shouldn't be doing that because there's missing women. Did y'all hear about the missing women? Y'all shouldn't be picking up strangers. You know what? I need to see all y'all IDs, okay? All of a sudden, we hear a bang. The police officer is shot. Your boy done shot him in the back, okay? And he gets out and shoots him. And so Nurse Rita and Brooke, they gun it and they escape, okay? And he tries to shoot after the car and he's like, gosh darn it, I don't have him, okay? So then we cut to Jingles. Jingles is on his way to the camp because remember last episode, the Night Stalker then killed his wife, and he had to bring his baby to his sister-in-law because he's like, look, you're not gonna keep coming after me, like, because Night Stalker is just not gonna let Jingles live, okay? So he's like, I'm gonna have to kill him. So that's why he's going to the camp. He gets to the camp and he sees like a boy, and he's like, hey, I know you. And he's like, why are you still dressed the way you did from when I knew you? Like, what is going on? And the boy's like, because I'm dead and I'm stuck here, okay? And so there's like a bunch of other boys or whatever. They get Jingles and they bring him to Montana and the crew, okay? Montana, Chet's there, Ray's there, and Xavier's there, okay? They running things in the camp now, in Purgatory camp now. I said, okay, wow. So, they explained to Jingles like what is going on. They're like, look, whenever this festival happens, we're gonna kill everybody at this festival. It's gonna be a massacre. Why? Because we want the ghost hunters to come here, and the ghost hunters are gonna try to help us to figure out like how we can like not be in purgatory anymore because it's kind of boring, okay? Like, it's a little boring, all right? So Jingles is like, okay, I mean, that's cute. And so they also say that they are scared of this lady around the camp who's been trying to like kill them. It's the lady in white, okay? And so they're like, we don't know who that is. And Mr. Jingles is like, well, I think I know who it is, y'all. Don't be mad. It's my mama, okay? And so he explains to them like what happened with his brother. And he says after that happened, him and his mama still stayed at the camp. He was like, Mom, let's leave. Let's just get out of here. And she's like, you know what? No, like, I want to stay here, okay? And the reason she wanted to stay there was because she wound up like killing all of everybody that she said was responsible for Bobby's death. She wound up killing all of them in their sleep, okay? And so as a child, he rolled up on that and he saw all of those dead bodies. And his mama was like, you know what? Like, they deserve to die. And basically, you deserve to die too. So she goes after him and he winds up stabbing her. And he says, she died there and she died with all this pain and all this blood and all this rage. And, she stayed there. And he thinks that's the reason why, like, all of the other camp counselors are in purgatory now. Like, she hated camp counselors or whatever, but just her mere presence of, like, being so full of rage and, like, anger and all that, like, pretty much cursed the camp. So that makes sense why they're stuck there. Like, that gives us a reason why, like, they can't move on from that camp. So then they realize that the cabin where it all happened is like conveniently right where they are. And so they all don't want to go in the cabin. And, Mr. Jingles is like, okay, I'll go in the cabin. Okay, like, it's my mama. I'll go. So he goes in there and he sees like a little toy, I guess, that Bobby had. And then he turns around and he sees his mama. He's like, Mama, like, you've been here this whole time? She's like, yes. And I've been like watching you, and I've been like, I tried to like kill myself multiple times here, it just doesn't work, okay? And I've been like walking around here and stuff like that. And you know what? There was one point in time where I did feel like like I felt like a primal instinct. And she was saying she was hoping it would be Bobby still there, but she realized it was Mr. Jingles she felt back when Mr. Jingles was working at the camp all those years ago when Margaret was there. And she said she saw how Margaret how Mr. Jingles liked Margaret and everything. But his mama hates him. So she said that she had whispered to Margaret in her sleep to like, make her a killer. Basically like, hey, them girls messing with you, like, off all them girls, like, they deserve this type of thing. But mama was like, Margaret was already crazy, so it didn't take that much whispering for me to do. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Margaret probably wants to do that eventually. Like, mama just gave her a little bit of a push, okay? But mama said she did that because she wanted Mr. Jingles to hurt. So she had took away something that he loved, which was Margaret. And she then proceeds to tell this man all type of evil stuff. She was like, you know what? Whenever I was pregnant with you, you were just a poison. You were leaching from my body, just poisoning me from the inside out. And all of this other evil stuff. I said, this woman is really evil. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So it hurts Mr. Jingles' feelings and everything, and that's it for that. And so the next, she also says that she won't stop until he burns for what happened because she hates him. I said, okay, mama, like really evil. So next we're back to the hitchhiker and Brooke and Nurse Rita. So Nurse Rita and Brooke are in the car and they think they have gotten away from the hitchhiker and they talking. And all of a sudden we see a cop car like from the rearview mirror of their car, and it is just going like full blast into the back of them. He hits the back of them. It is the hitchhiker who like got into the police car and was looking for him. So he hits him in the back. He hits them from the back. And basically, Brooke and Nurse Rita get knocked out. Whenever Brooke like awakens, she is in the whenever he hit them, there was a truck right in front of them that the guy was also hit. And so he gets out of his car and like tries to like, see what's happening, and the hitchhiker shoots him, okay? So whenever Brooke awakens, the truck that was the guy's truck that they hit, he's in that truck, and Brooke is in there. He has a gun pointed to Brooke. He's like, girl, basically I've killed people, I've killed about 5 people, and I want to kill some more. I want to be just like Ramirez, who was Night Stalker, and Ted Bundy, okay? So he has to do some more killing, so they're on the list as of this point, okay? And so he has Nurse Rita tied up in the back on the street to the truck, and he's like, okay, so either you die or you drive, and she dies. So pick one. And she's like, you know what? I don't even care about Nurse Rita, so I'm gonna drive, okay? And you can tell she's trying to figure out how to do this, how to work the situation out. And so what happens is she drives backward and it knocks the gun kind of like cockeyed from how he's holding it, and she stabs him or shoots him, one of the two. Shoots him in the crotch, and basically they get the best of him, okay? And so they get him outside, and she, unties Nurse Rita. Nurse Rita puts a little chokehold on him, and she's about to kill him, and Brooke is like, no, don't kill him yet, girl. Like, I want him to suffer, okay? I said, Brooke, you was just evil now, girl. Okay, I love it. So then we get to, we see Margaret, her assistant, and Trevor. They're at the camp, and they're getting everything ready for the festival and whatnot. And all of a sudden, Trevor sees, like, Montana across the street. He's the only one that sees Montana, and he's like, because him and Montana had a thing back in the day, okay? So he is like, I want to go follow Montana. So he follows Montana, and him and Montana, she appears to him, and they start to do what it do, okay? So I don't know what happened after that, but next we get to Brooke and Nurse. We go back to Brooke and Nurse Rita, and they have tied the hitchhiker to like a pole, and they're cutting off his finger and stuff, so they want him to suffer, okay? And Brooke's like, you know what, like, I need to get to Camp Redwood, so I guess this is where we part. And Nurse Rita's like, you know what, Man, I guess I'm gonna come with you. Man, I'm trying to get away from Camp Redwood, but I guess you didn't save my life, so I'm gonna come with you, girl. Okay? I said this is cute, like a little dynamic duo. And then then we get a scene where the Night Stalker talks to Billy Idol, who is his like idol, and he's like, the devil has come to collect. So I guess Billy Idol had signed a deal with the devil to become famous. So he kills them and collects, okay? And he kills his whole tour bus. I was like, oh wow, oh wow. And so then we get back to Jingles. Jingles is at the lake where Bobby had died, and he's just sitting there, and he's kind of like reminiscing about Bobby. And so his mama walks up behind him, and they get to talking. And Bobby says that, I mean, not Bobby, Mr. Jingles says that he named the son after Bobby, and all he wants to do is to protect his son. And so his mama kind of fails him on that, I think. I was like, she seems like she was like just being evil, but trying to like get Jingles' guard down. But she was saying, you signed a deal with the devil, so the Night Stalker is gonna come to collect, okay? And so if the Night Stalker kills you, that means that you won't come back. But if you kill yourself, then you can come back. And so basically telling him, to kill himself. And so I was like, Jingles, are you gonna do this? Like, is this a trick? And so Jingles, he was like, you know what? That's a good idea, okay? So he tells Bobby, he's like, Bobby, I don't know if you're here, but I know I'm sorry for what happened. And then he stabs himself in the stomach, y'all. And then he becomes one of the dead in purgatory at Camp Redwood, okay? So that was it for this whole episode, y'all. It was pretty long, and this video is probably long too, but did I enjoy it? It wasn't one of the better episodes this season, so it kind of dragged out. Especially the episode right before Halloween. I was expecting a little more, like something kind of more special, but it's fine. We're going to keep on watching and see like what happens, to get my final thoughts on the season. But let me know what you guys thought of it down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Give me a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. And hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell so you can notify when I post these videos. Happy Halloween, you guys. Love y'all. See y'all on the next one.